They say when a forest burns, the land forgets. But sometimes the land remembers, and sometimes it wants you to remember too. Danny was 26 when he took a job as a fire lookout deep in the Bitterroot Mountains of Montana. It was supposed to be peaceful, boring even. One man in a tower, miles of trees, binoculars, a radio, a cot, and canned food. All he had to do was watch for smoke. He welcomed the isolation. No distractions, no people, just the sound of wind in the trees and the creaking of old wood. For the first few nights, it was exactly what he'd hoped for, until the third night. At 2:13 a.m., Danny sat up in bed, heart pounding. He didn't know why he woke up. There was no thunder, no storm, no dream he could remember. Just something, a pressure in the air. He stood up, stepped onto the balcony of the tower, and scanned the horizon. Clear sky, no smoke, no fire. But just as he turned to go back inside, he heard it. A scream, distant, muffled by the trees. A woman's scream. It was short, 5 seconds maybe, but unmistakable. Then silence. Danny froze. He looked out again. No lights, no movement. He grabbed the radio. "Dispatch, this is Tower 9. I just heard something. Sounded like a woman. Possible distress call. Over." Static. Then, "Copy that, Tower 9. We'll send a team to sweep the area." They searched all morning. Rangers, a drone, even dogs. Nothing. No sign of anyone. No hikers reported missing. No campers. Not even a footprint. Just a strange patch of ground near mile marker 42, charred black in a perfect circle. But no fire had been reported there, and nothing was still burning. That night, Danny couldn't sleep. The woods felt different, like they were holding their breath. Even the insects were quiet. At 2:13 a.m., sharp, the screaming returned. But this time, it was closer, and behind it, he swore he could hear something else, a crackling sound, like leaves burning or skin blistering. He stepped outside again, shining his flashlight into the treetops. Nothing, until he saw her, a woman, standing among the trees, still as stone. She was barefoot. Her clothes were torn. Her skin was wrong, ashy, blackened in patches, like she had been in a fire and somehow walked away from it. But she didn't move. She didn't scream. She just looked up at him. And then, as the fog rolled in, she disappeared. The next morning, Danny found ash on the tower stairs. Not dust, not dirt. Ash and footprints, bare feet leading down the steps, into the woods. He followed them for over a mile, down a trail no longer marked on any map. It ended at a dead tree, split in half, burned black from the inside out. Lying beneath it was an old radio, half melted, covered in soot, exactly like the one in his tower. He turned and ran. Back in the tower, he tried to shake it off, sleep it off, but he couldn't. Something was wrong with the tower now. The air was thick. The floor creaked when he wasn't walking, and the corners of the room always felt darker than they should. That night at 2:13 a.m., the power died. Lights gone, radio dead. Backup generator wouldn't even click. Then he heard it, the hatch on the lower floor, the one that led up the ladder, creaking, slow, deliberate metal groans, like someone was climbing up. He bolted the hatch and backed away, but the smell hit him. Smoke, thick, bitter smoke, rising through the floorboards. He stumbled for his flashlight, shined it at the floor. The wood was blackening, curling, peeling, like it was cooking from the inside. And then the radio clicked on, just static at first. Then a voice, not his, not the Rangers. "Heron, I burned in this tower 20 years ago. They thought they were safe, but the fire came from inside. The temperature dropped. The smoke vanished. The smell, gone. But when Danny looked down the ladder again, the rungs were missing, no way down, and on the ground far below, she stood there, looking up, smiling. He never made another radio call. They found the tower weeks later, burned to the ground. No wildfire reported, no lightning, no accident, just a black circle of scorched earth and a melted radio, still transmitting. If you're in the forest around 2:13 a.m. and you tune to Channel 5 on the emergency band, you might hear it too. Not the voice, not the scream, just one sound, breathing, coming from inside the fire.